Hello, my name is Xonevant, and we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The internet is talking about this game right now, but I just want to simply ask you one question. Have you bought your ticket yet? Let's talk about it right here on episode 55. So you may have guessed what we're going to be talking about in this video, but maybe not. So let me fill you in. We're going to be talking about that hype train. You know, that train that leaves the station every year when it comes down to big releases and things of that nature. We're going to be talking about the hype train because I love talking about the hype train. We've talked about the hype train before. And yes, the hype train is a thing. It exists in all kinds of media, right? When it comes to movies and music, the promotion part of the process of unveiling a game or getting us to that infamous release date of a game, that is the hype train. And the publishers / developers, their job is to make that hype train look absolutely sweet, baby. I'm talking amazing, son. Best train on the planet. But it's up to us, right? It's up to us to buy that ticket. And undoubtedly, when you go to buy a game, especially if you make your decision prior to the day that the game comes out. We're talking pre-orders, we're talking researching the game prior to it coming out, we're talking watching all the trailers, all the 18 to 45 minute gameplay footages, I mean, all that stuff, right? If that is something you decide to do, then that is a part of you buying your ticket to the hype train. You are, in fact, looking at that train as it is creating all the little extra little cabooses and carts and all. You're watching it being built in front of you and you're going, man, that's a sweet looking train. I'm trying to buy my ticket. You see what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with boarding the hype train, right? If there's a game that you're passionate about and you love it, like I'm really ready for Uncharted 4. So they don't have to do that much to sell me on that game, right? They don't have to do too much for me to go, you know what, that's a hot looking train. I'm trying to get my ticket. You know what I mean? I'm trying to follow this game until it's released, and I'm probably going to pre-order it, and I'm probably going to get hyped and get shirts and gear and keychains and wallets and whatever else I can get my hands on because the hype train, right, is so awesome. And I want to get my ticket on it, and I want to ride that train all the way to the release of that game. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, when I saw Uncharted 4's first reveal trailer, I bought my ticket. I'm on the hype train for Uncharted 4 right now. Nobody put a gun to my head to make me do it. I just simply said to myself, I want to be on that train and I'm ready for that game to drop. But why do we make those decisions so quickly? Well, I can tell you why I make the decision so quickly. I cannot speak for you, but you can let me know in the comments below. I make that decision because of the track record I have with IPs and certain developers and certain publishers. That's how I can make that decision so snap, right? So quick. Because I've played Uncharted 1 and 2 and 3 and I've played Naughty Dog games for a long time, they have a track record of producing very quality enriched games, right? Not to say that they don't have bugs and not to say that they don't have glitches. But 9 times out of 10, there are not game-breaking bugs or glitches or something that would take me so far out of the element of the game, right, that I feel like I got suckered out of my $60. And I'm sure right now, if you got a sheet of paper and wrote down, you know, some of your favorite games out there, some of your favorite developers and publishers, et cetera, you would have that same mentality. Hey, if they come out with this game part 5, I'm straight getting on the hype train day 1. And then there are some that you would say to yourself, nah, I'm not gonna get on that hype train until maybe a week before release, or maybe even a week after release, based on patches and updates and, you know, review scores, however you tend to judge games. So the question here is not necessarily why you board the hype train. It's just a matter of when you board the hype train. Like, how quickly are you ready to jump on this train and ride it to release? And when we're talking about Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I feel like that, at least for me personally, I am not going to hop on this train for a very long time. Now, you might feel differently, and of course, you can let me know in the comments below, but I feel like that what they did last year with Unity, even though they were trying to do some new stuff and co-op and, you know, this sort of thing, and I hear it, man. I love when developers, you know, try to do something new in their franchise, right? But, here is the fine line for me and why I can't board the hype train this time around. Not only did they get it wrong last year, they got it way wrong. They got it like Battlefield 4 wrong, right? They knew that game was pretty jacked up at launch. They pigeonholed themselves into a release date that they knew they couldn't hit. Then they made deals with Xbox. You know, they did that Xbox bundle, Unity. That's the one I was actually going to buy until all the crazy glitch videos and stuff like that started coming out and games broken, and we're looking at 30+ gig patches just to fix it. Cutscene glitches. We're talking cutscene glitches where you're interacting with people and your face falls off and all kinds of crazy stuff. You can see through your eyeballs and stuff. These are cutscenes, right? These aren't like glitches where you go to some obscure part of the map and jump 17 times and hit the wall with your sword and glitch through. These are cutscene glitches, right? Now, I know some of you guys are going to say, well, I didn't have any glitches when I played, and I know that's the case, but a lot of people who did play the game did have those glitches, and there's videos out there to prove it. So the other day when I actually watched the reveal trailer, I watched mine on GameSpot. The trailer came out, and then right after that, you know, butted right up against the trailer was like a little mini documentary where we got to meet some of the lead developers and stuff like that, and they were talking about the game. And then it went to this portion of the documentary where they were apologizing, and this went on and on and on. It wasn't a big portion of the documentary, but it was a good chunk of it. And they were basically apologizing for the fact that they, you know, messed it up last year, right? They were apologizing, and it just felt like a PR stunt. It did not feel genuine to me. It just felt like a PR stunt. In other words, if there was no Assassin's Creed game coming out this year, let's just say that last year's Assassin's Creed would have been the finale of the whole series, they wouldn't have put out that documentary. They wouldn't be apologizing. They already got your money. They already got our money, right? It's almost like they're just apologizing just to apologize so that we will go, oh, you know what? We forgive you. And then we board the hype train immediately because there's something fresh and new out there. That's my take on it. That's the feeling I got when I watched this portion of their reveal. And look, I'm all about people making mistakes, man. If people make mistakes and they apologize for it, cool. But here's what you got to think about. And here's why I'm so cautious about buying my ticket to the hype train so quickly. If, in fact, they had been working on Syndicate for the last 3 years, which is what the reveal actually said, a different studio has been working on it, 3 years in development, and then, of course, they got pigeonholed into some promotions last year with Unity, so they put the game out knowing it was broke because they just deadline people. They just wanted to meet that deadline. They said, hey, we'll fix it later, right? Which is what a lot of games do these days, but now they have a new game coming out. So here's the thing. Here's what they should have done last year. They should have delayed the game, but they can't delay it because if they delay it, then this year they have that game and the new game, Syndicate, dropping in the same year. Now, we know that they did this when they released, I think it was Unity and the other game last year. I forgot what it was called, but it was for the old gen consoles, right? They did that. And it didn't really serve them too well. It kind of divided the audience, and those two games kind of fought each other, right? So this year, I don't think they were ready to make that same move. And that gets me back to my point, right? It's almost like they're just apologizing, not necessarily because they're truly sorry. They just feel like if they apologize, then we'll be more apt to throw down some cheddar and buy our ticket on their train. Now, am I saying that I'm not going to buy this game? Am I talking about just boycotting this game completely? Not necessarily. I'm just talking about when I'm going to buy my ticket on this train. You see what I'm saying? It may be 3 days before the game comes out before I go, you know what? I feel like they got it. I feel like it's solid, right? Once we start seeing some more alpha footage and some more beta footage, maybe, you know what I mean? Even if maybe they'll do a demo for it, who knows, and we get to play it early. That's when I'll start saying to myself, okay, all right, I'm looking for the guy selling the ticket, right? The hype train's looking a little bit better for me because I need more than just Asari. You see what I'm saying? Because even though they said Asari, right? Even though they apologized, they still got my $60. Does that make sense? They still took people $60 knowing that their game wasn't up to par. And that's where we just got to be really careful. You know what I mean? As gamers, you have to remember, if you were one of these players that experienced the crazy mess that was last year, right? If that was you, then you need to be a little bit more cautious this time around. Don't buy into the hype train so early, right? Just wait, right? Wait, see what happens with this game before you go, you know what, I want to get my ticket. That's all I'm saying, because at the end of the day, because they have a track record now of producing buggy content, just like Battlefield 4, right? You owe it to yourself to stay away from the train as much as possible, because you will have no one to blame but yourself if you go out and buy this game when it launches on day one, and it could potentially come home and be a buggy mess. You will have nobody to look at but yourself, because nobody puts a gun to your head and makes you buy the hype train ticket. Nobody but you. You make that choice, right? So that's all I'm saying, guys, is just be cautious. Now, we'll be going through on tomorrow's show my thoughts about the actual trailer, so we can discuss some of the ins and outs about what we saw, the features in the game, the gameplay mechanics. But I just wanted to get this video up because I don't want people to buy into the hype train too quickly, get their ticket early, and then be disappointed when this game drops. I really don't. And that is the reason why I wanted to make this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll talk about Assassin's Creed Syndicate more tomorrow. You guys be good.